Nnamdi Kanu is being tried for terrorism, acts of violence, inciting the public against security agencies, and also belonging to a proscribed group called IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra. Initially, he was charged with a 15-count charge, which was later reduced in 2022 to 7 counts because 8 counts were struck out because there were no evidence and the court held that they lacked merit. So as at now, he is being tried for 7 count charges. I want to read out these 7 charges for you. Count 1. In September 2021, Kanu, as a member of the leader of the IPOB, committed an act of terrorism by making a broadcast intended to intimidate the population, threatening that people will die and the world will stand still. This offense is punishable under Section 1, subsection 2B of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2015. Count 2. He is accused of making a broadcast with intent to intimidate the population, issuing a death threat against anyone who flouted his sit-at-home order, leading to the closure of banks, schools, markets, and other establishments in the eastern states of Nigeria. This offense is also punishable under Section 1, subsection 2B of Terrorism Prevention Act 2015. Count 3 is alleged that between 2018 and 2021, Kanu professed himself to be a member of the leader of the IPOB, a proscribed organization in Nigeria. Count 4, he is accused of making broadcasts in furtherance of an act of terrorism by inciting members of the public to hunt and kill Nigerian security personnel. Count 5 is alleged that Kanu made broadcasts to incite members of the public to commit acts of terrorism against Nigeria. Count 6, the details of this one are not available, for public. Then count 7, accused of illegally importing a radio transmitter, Tram 50L, which is named Tram 50L, that's the transmitter, concealed in a container of used household items, in violation of Section 47, subsection 2A of the Criminal Code Act, Cap C 45 laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to point out that some of the charges that were dropped initially in 2022, some of them are being smuggled back to court. If you recall, like the one of the Lagos BRT, those ones were struck out, and some inciting for policemen and here and there security agencies, those ones were struck out. But gradually, the prosecution are sneaking them into the court because they claim to have found new evidences that back up that offense. Just to update you on that as we move on. For the purpose of this video, we are going to look at 3 video evidences that were used by his lawyers in court last week for his defense, and if actually they are enough to vindicate him, exonerate him, and prove that not only is he not a terrorist or did he not incite violence, but that all his words or actions were done with good intent, and to put it clearly, in self-defense. Walk with me as I take you through the 3 video evidences that will set Nnamdi Kanu free. Number 1, the video of Hope Uzodimma. In this video, Hope Uzodimma virtually set Nnamdi Kanu free by saying that the killing of Ahmed Gulak and other people in Imo State was not done by the IPOB and was not ordered by Nnamdi Kanu. Because you know that Nnamdi Kanu is being accused of inciting violence in Imo State and also of the murder of Ahmed Gulak. Hope Uzodimma stated it clearly in the video that this was a political act and not an act done by the IPOB. Watch this video.
If anybody tells you that IPOB is the one killing people in Oluzon, it is not correct. Wicked politicians are sponsoring the killings in Olo. Last week in Oberuru, the APC ward chairman was killed in his house. The APC secretary was killed in his house. APC woman leader was killed in his house. I have cross-checked since the inception of this banditry. Not one PDP man has died.
For those of you who watch the video, you can see it clearly. Hope Uzodinma is saying it for all that want to hear. That yes, people have been accusing IPOB of doing this, but I am telling you clearly, it is not IPOB that did it. It is my political opponents that are doing it. And of course, you know Nigeria as a country. People even value politics more than human life. It is obvious that people normally, politicians are one of the most deadly people we can ever see in this country. Nigerian politicians are the most deadly people that you can ever do anything with. Whether it is business, whether it is relationship, they are the most deadly. And let me tell you, for Hope Uzodinma to accuse the politicians of doing this, it is very obvious, because in this country of Nigeria, we have observed and seen how politicians disappear every day. Sometimes they are being assassinated. Sometimes they are being kidnapped. They are being abducted. So yes, it is very possible. So yes, it is true that it is the that it is politicians who actually did that, and not the IPOB or Nnamdi Kanu or any other Biafra agitator, because they have seemed to politicize all these things and hide behind this agitation to commit their crime. Also, for those who are saying, who is Hope Uzodinma? Who is Hope Uzodinma? Hope Uzodinma is the governor of Imo State. He is the chief security officer of Imo State. He receives intel from all the security agencies every day, every moment. He's always on call. They are briefing him every morning in his office. So he knows all the criminals in his state. He knows all the crime issues and problems of his state because he is well briefed. So if he stands and says anything, he is saying it based on information. Information that he got, not speculation. You understand? Because the army is there giving him information. The police is there giving him information, confirmed information. This same information is shared with Abuja. Not only given to him alone, they also have a copy of this information, I'm telling you. So for him to say this is done by the politicians, they have this information. In fact, I will tell you that they even know who even killed Ahmed Gulak or who is even causing problem in Imo State. They know these people. Just like they know the sponsors of Boko Haram. They know them, but they don't want to prosecute them. The same way they also know the sponsors of crime. Around Nigeria, they know. So Hope Uzodinma had to set that record straight. And that is why it is not debatable. This evidence from Hope Uzodinma is as strong, is as credible, is as, admissible as possible. And definitely this video evidence will set Nnamdi Kanu free. So for this video, absolutely no incitement. Number 2. The video of T.Y. Danjuma. T.Y. Danjuma, of course, we all know, in a viral video, he charged his people, he charged Nigerians to not wait for the security agencies to defend them, that they should defend themselves. Yes, because if you are waiting for Nigerian government and security agencies to defend you, you may find yourself in the grave, because they also collude with these criminals, and sometimes they are even a threat to your life depending on the incident that happened. So you have to be careful and protect yourself and your community. Come together and defend yourself. This is in response to the charge of Nnamdi Kanu that says that he incites his people to commit violence against Nigeria, against Nigerian citizens, against police, against security agencies, and also to defend and because Nnamdi Kanu called on IPOB members and some people to defend themselves against violence against them, that he should repel their attacks. For anybody that is killed, take somebody down. This was one of the accusations that were labeled upon Nnamdi Kanu in the court. And the lawyers played this T.Y. Danjuma video in his defense to buttress the fact that self-defense is not a crime. That self-defense is not an offense. Watch this video.
These are not neutral. They collude. They collude. They collude with the armed bandits. They kill people, kill Nigerians. They facilitate their movements. They cover them. If you are depending on the armed forces to stop the killings, you will all die one by one.
Did he lie? You watch the video. Did Tiwa Danjuma lie? Look, when somebody comes to attack you, you don't look at who the person is or his badge or his title. Anybody can pose violence to anybody. We've seen cases of policemen or security agencies around the world, commit, crime against humanity. Yes, some of them have even been tried in the International Criminal Court. So this video really buttresses the aspect of self-defense, which is enshrined in the Constitution, that everybody has the right to self-defense. You don't have the right to keep running away from your captors, running away from people who want you dead. That you have a right to stand your ground and say, no, I cannot go out of this world. I cannot be unalived. Rather, you be unalived. So Nnamdi Kanu is saying to his people, stand your ground, because sometimes there was also a video or evidence where, the caller was calling in saying, look, we are so and so place and they are attacking us. And Kanu said, if they attack you, attack them back. Find something on the ground to defend yourself. This accusation holds no ground. And the judge is going to rule it out, because definitely this is a pure act of self-defense. So in this case, this is a pure act of self-defense. So in this case, there is no excitement, 100% self-defense. And this video buttresses that fact and will lead to the case being struck out, because the evidence is as strong as water coming from Tiwa Danjuma, a man that has been the cause of power, that shaped Nigerian history, that knows his onions and his worth when it talks about security and defense in this country. And also, having making that statement, nobody came to question him or even ask him or even invite him for question. That means he was saying the truth, that Nigerians need to defend themselves. That is a natural right of anybody, a natural right of people. Nobody wakes up in the morning from his house. Nnamdi Kanu did not wake up one day and told his members to come out of his house and go and start looking for trouble. He never did that. Something brought up to something. The same way they came to his house, and also the same way they came to his house to abduct him, and the army invaded his territory and now claiming that he ran away. But they are the ones that invaded his territory. What if now he stood his ground and organized some members to fire back at the army? They will now say that he has killed security agencies. All this impunity need to stop, because everybody has a right to defend themselves. But in that occasion, Nnamdi Kanu just left. He left and found himself in Israel, because he did not feel like, retaliating. Rather, he felt like saving his life. And he did that, to the best of my knowledge. So that is number 2, Tiwa Danjuma's video buttressing the need for self-defense. So in that video, you can see that it is a no to incitement and a yes to self-defense for Nnamdi Kanu. Number 3, the video of the DSS boss, the DSS chairman himself, Adeola Ajayi Oluwatosin, saying that in that video, he said clearly that Nigerians should not wait for security agencies, but they should, gather themselves in groups and defend themselves and their communities. Because even he himself, as DSS director, he's from Ogun State, and in his community, he has started gathering their youths to protect themselves against any form of attacks. That Nigerians should form that habit. And that video was played in court also in defense of Nnamdi Kanu, who was accused of forming ESN to protect, the southeast from attacks, because as you know, there is a surge of attacks in the bushes and the farms in the southeast. And Nnamdi Kanu was accused of forming ESN for ulterior motives. And the video was played in the defense of Nnamdi Kanu. Watch the video.
Always be security problem. So when I hear people say this is security in Nigeria, as long as human beings exist, there will be security problem. The issue is the response. We have to take that mentality away. What is the security agencies doing? Who, apart from a tree, knows that they want to come and cut him and remain standing? Only a tree. We have to get the communities to rise and defend themselves first. And the time to start it is now. When you move out from here, I do that every day. I come from a village in Ijebu land, Ogun State, and I talk to my people. I know the level of armament they are entitled to. I know how they organize themselves in quarters. We have 4 quarters. I am using my expertise to guide them. You cannot wait for the military to come and do everything.
You have seen it for yourself. The DSS boss himself coming out to say it's clear that every Nigerian has a right, every community has a right to organize themselves in groups, organize vigilantes to protect their villages. And this evidence, he said in this video, is clear, and the court heard it, because Nnamdi Kanu forming ESN, to protect the people. According to Nnamdi Kanu, ESN is not the army of Biafra. ESN is a vigilante group to protect farmers, just as the DSS boss has said also that he himself, as DSS boss, has a vigilante group in his village that protect themselves, and also there is Amotekun that protects the southwest. So anybody is free to organize any way he can to protect the community. It is not wrong. It is still enshrined in the defense of the protection of oneself, as a right of self-defense. And in doing so, you are protecting and defending your human right, which is your right. So Nnamdi Kanu is a citizen of Nigeria. Nnamdi Kanu has a right. Nnamdi Kanu is not an outcast. You understand? Forget that thing you are saying that he is a member of proscribed. What does that mean? He is a Nigerian and has committed no offense. As far as the court is concerned today, he has committed no offense by trying to defend himself with the ESN. That is what this video is trying to say. It's very clear that these 3 videos that were played last week in court, as I have played them for you virtually the way it was played in court, you can see for yourself that the coast is clear. The coast is so clear. For freedom, for judgment, for truth, for justice to prevail. Except they want to play mago-mago in it. Because you cannot have two laws for one country. What applies to A must apply to B. If A can defend himself, B should be able to defend himself. If A has been set free, B must be set free. If A has been arrested, then B should be arrested. Don't play double standard. Because in this Nnamdi Kanu case, it's obvious that there's a lot of double standard there. If not, tell me. Lots of people have caused Nigeria a lot of problem, a lot of losses. In the past, we had Asari Dokubo, who has burnt many pipelines, who has destroyed our Commonwealth as a people, who has killed many army and many soldiers, but is working free, even campaigning for the president. We have people like Igboho from the southwest, who has been set free. The numbers are much. When it comes to Nnamdi Kanu, an Igbo man, they fail to release him. They're looking for ways to drag him and to sleep him down if we can let him fall. Don't forget, this man has been in trial. He has been in captivity without trial for years. He has been in captivity. He has been tortured. He has been humiliated. He has been suffered. He has been disrespected, disregarded. It's time to bow to this. It's time to bow to superior arguments. Obviously, these video evidences have set him free. This is me calling upon Nigerian government as usual to immediately release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to his family. Release him. Let him go to his states and relax himself. Release him now. Release him today. It is over. Because as long as this court case keeps going, these evidences will keep pouring like this. And you cannot forcefully jail him without proper evidence, of which now the prosecution has none. None. Free Nnamdi Kanu today. We wait for the court case upcoming. We wait as we see how it goes. I'll be here to report every detail, every fact checked, every fact to be checked, every detail until we get him released. I've been your host, Chinedu. Sign out to your favorite show, Direct on the Spot, the show where we hit it hard and hot on matters of concern that shape and affect our daily lives. Thank you for watching this video. Till I see you in the next one. Peace.